The Bible mentions 700 wives for King Solomon, but only one is named. Her name is Naamah, and her untold story holds incredible significance. As the wife of King Solomon and the mother of the future king, Rehoboam, Naamah played a vital role in shaping the destiny of Israel. Join us as we discover the untold story of Naamah, a woman whose choices and influence had a lasting impact on the nation. Solomon's decision to marry Naamah, an Ammonite, was met with controversy and raised many questions. The Ammonite tribe had a long history of being enemies of the Israelites. References to the Ammonites are found throughout biblical narratives, illustrating a complex relationship marked by conflict and contention. No Ammonite or Moabite or any of their descendants may enter the assembly of the Lord, not even in the 10th generation. For they did not come to meet you with bread and water on your way when you came out of Egypt, and they hired Balaam son of Beor from Pethor in Aram Naharaim to pronounce a curse on you. Deuteronomy 23 verses 3-4. The other notable narrative relates to the Battle of Jabesh-Gilead, where the Ammonites besieged the city, leading to a desperate plea for assistance from the Israelites. During this campaign, Saul led a successful Israelite victory over the Ammonites. The next day Saul separated his men into 3 divisions. During the last watch of the night they broke into the camp of the Ammonites and slaughtered them until the heat of the day. Those who survived were scattered, so that no 2 of them were left together. 1 Samuel 11 verse 11. The reign of King Saul witnessed several military campaigns against the Ammonites, further deepening the cycle of hostility between the 2 tribes. Despite facing strong resistance, Saul emerged victorious in battle, ensuring Israelite power in the region. As a tribal community, the Ammonites were shaped significantly by their cultural practices and religious beliefs. They performed rituals and ceremonies dedicated to idols. Naamah's story begins with her ancestor, Lot's daughters, and ends with her marriage to Solomon. Despite the warnings from God for the kings of Israel to avoid taking multiple wives, Solomon broke this command and had a multitude of wives and concubines, including Naamah. Do not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I am living. Genesis 24 verse 3. It is possible that Solomon's marriage to Naamah was a political move to improve his relationship with the Ammonites. However, this decision would later prove to be damaging to Solomon's reign and the nation of Israel. By marrying Naamah, Solomon opened the door to the influence of foreign gods and practices that went against God's commands. The Ammonite culture and religion brought into Solomon's life through his marriage led him far from worshiping the one true God. Do not intermarry with them. Do not give your daughters to their sons or take their daughters for your sons. Deuteronomy 7 verse 3. The results of Solomon's disobedience and idolatry would have far-reaching effects on the nation, causing division, war, and the eventual exile of the Israelites. During his reign, Solomon allowed the worship of Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Sidonians, and Molech, the evil god of the Ammonites. This act of idolatry not only affected Solomon personally, but also had a damaging impact on the kingdom of Israel. Do not follow other gods, the gods of the peoples around you, for the Lord your God, who is among you, is a jealous God and his anger will burn against you, and he will destroy you from the face of the land. Deuteronomy 6 verses 14-15. The foreign gods that Solomon embraced distorted and corrupted the true worship of God, leading to moral decay and spiritual decline among the Israelites. Israel's idol worship caused a rift between God and Israel, resulting in divine judgment and punishment. With 700 wives and 300 concubines, each with their allegiance to foreign gods, Solomon's heart became divided. Their influence led him to follow after other gods and engage in idolatry. The presence of these wives allowed the worship of false gods to enter Israel, going against God's commands. As a result, the nation turned away from the worship of the one true God and engaged in the worship of idols. When Solomon died, Rehoboam took over the throne and began his reign over Judah. As the successor to his father, Rehoboam faced the daunting task of ruling a kingdom that was already divided. The northern tribes, led by Jeroboam, had rebelled against the heavy taxation and forced labor imposed by Solomon's administration. This rebellion resulted in the formation of the northern kingdom of Israel, leaving Rehoboam to rule over the southern kingdom of Judah. Rehoboam's reign was marked by turmoil and conflict, made worse by his initial handling of the situation. Instead of heeding the advice of the elders to govern with humility and compassion, Rehoboam chose to follow the counsel of the people, who urged him to exert even greater control over the people. This decision only deepened the division between the north and the south, leading to a devastating civil war. Throughout his reign, Rehoboam struggled to maintain stability and unity within his kingdom. He faced constant threats from neighboring nations and internal strife among his own people. Despite his efforts to assert his authority, Rehoboam was ultimately unable to reunite the kingdom of Israel under his rule. In the grand context of the Bible, Rehoboam's reign represents a turning point, a moment when the kingdom was forever divided, setting the stage for centuries of conflict and turmoil. The neighboring nations saw the weakness and division within the kingdom as an opportunity to exert their influence and expand their territories. Rehoboam's inability to maintain the unity of Israel and protect it from external threats further undermined his rule. The choices made by Solomon and the influence of Naamah on their descendants set the stage for these challenges. As Solomon grew old, his wives turned his heart after other gods, and his heart was not fully devoted to the Lord his God, as the heart of David his father had been. He followed Ashtoreth the goddess of the Sidonians, and Molech the detestable god of the Ammonites. So Solomon did evil in the eyes of the Lord. He did not follow the Lord completely, as David his father had done. 1 Kings 11 verses 4-6. Throughout the Bible, God provides clear instructions and guidelines for his people, intended to lead them in a righteous and fulfilling life. These commandments that I give you today are to be on your hearts. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road, when you lie down and when you get up. Deuteronomy 6 verses 6-7. However, these commands are often disregarded or ignored, leading to severe consequences. As for Naamah and Solomon, God's warning against marrying many wives and following after foreign gods was not fully respected. While Naamah's story illustrates the negative results of sinful choices, the Bible also provides examples of godly choices and their positive effects. One remarkable figure who exemplifies this is Ruth. Ruth, also a Moabite woman, chose to remain loyal to her mother-in-law Naomi and follow her back to the land of Israel. Her decision to embrace Naomi's God and join the Israelite community had a profound impact. Ruth's faithfulness and virtuous character caught the attention of Boaz, who eventually became her husband. Through this union, Ruth became part of the lineage of King David. Don't urge me to leave you or to turn back from you. Where you go I will go, and where you stay I will stay. Your people will be my people and your God my God. Where you die I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord deal with me, be it ever so severely, if even death separates you and me. Ruth 1 verses 16-17. The choices made by Naamah, Solomon, and their descendants had a lasting impact on Israel. Naamah's significance lies in her connection to King Solomon, the wisest king in Israel's history. As Solomon's wife, she played a crucial role in his life and reign. Her influence, along with that of Solomon's other wives, ultimately led to the downfall of both Solomon and the kingdom of Israel. Despite the limited information about her, her existence and role as Solomon's wife and Rehoboam's mother hold significant importance. Naamah serves as a reminder that even those who may have limited mention in the scriptures can have an indelible impact on the course of history. With that said, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more thought-provoking content on faith, history, and culture. Remember, sharing is caring, so spread the word and let's continue this journey together.